My name is Amanda.
And I'm Kristin.
And we are the Exorcisters. So sit back, relax, and let's get creepy. Welcome to Hype episode 16, which is awesome. We've seen 16 horror movies outside of regularly scheduled programming this year, which is more movies I think I've seen in a year ever in my entire life.
Absolutely.
Like in theaters.
Like just movies, not even horror.
Yeah.
Just movies.
Yeah, definitely. In this one, we're really excited because it's a little different, but we are going to be discussing Little Monsters, which just came out in theaters for, I think, a one-night event.
Yep.
So we drove about 45 minutes north of us and saw a screening, and it actually drops on Hulu today, which would be Friday the 11th. So,
which is really cool.
Yeah, so I'm happy to say you should definitely watch it.
You really should. I'm not displeased with anything in it.
No,
it was amazing.
So it's a horror comedy. First things first. And it was, I don't know, sometimes horror comedies can be really hit and miss. Because like The Dead Don't Die, I loved it. You liked it too.
Yeah, but it's also that dry humor.
A lot of people were like not about it. This one I think is for everyone. Like,
yeah,
it's really inappropriate. I probably wouldn't watch it with your children.
For sure.
It gets less inappropriate sexually as like you go, but there is
more gory.
Yeah, there is some like nudity and stuff, so probably not a horror comedy for kids, but it's a really cool plot. So Lupita Nyong'o's in it, which first of all,
love her.
So good.
Oh my god,
she's so good in everything. And it's actually an Australian film. So none of the actors I had ever heard of except for her. So they had this huge, actually lies. The Olaf from Frozen. He does a lot of comedy and he's in it as well. And he was funny, but you have these actors that you've never really heard of and you can't, and they may be famous in Australia. I don't know. I'm sorry. I didn't really look, but everyone did such a stellar job.
Absolutely.
And I loved the premise. It's a kindergarten class, and their teacher, who is Lupita, takes them on a field trip to like this little petting zoo farm that has like putt-putt.
I'll say with putt-putt!
Yes. Putt-putt! Which is a thing that if you watch the movie, you'll understand. And so...
Same with the music in the beginning, you guys.
Yes.
You gotta watch it.
It's all relevant, we promise. And so they go to this farm, and David is one of the kids' uncles, and he's like very inappropriate, kind of a wash up, like
rock star,
burnout. Yeah, and he just thinks that she's hot, so he volunteers to go on the field trip. Well, while they're on the field trip, there's a zombie outbreak, and so now she has to protect all these kindergartners,
and she does,
from zombies.
She's a fucking badass.
Yeah, and so it's just, I don't know, like I knew the premise going into it, but I was like, okay, like whatever. You get so attached to it's so funny. We were talking about like wanting kids and how I like wasn't sure.
Literally right before this movie, which had nothing to do with it.
On the way to the theater, I was like, I think I'd be like a really good teacher with like little kids, but like, I don't know if I want kids. And I was like watching this movie the whole time and I was like, oh my God, I would be awesome at this. Maybe not the zombie part, but just like, it was really cool because I got some like personal insight during this movie, which has nothing to do with this episode, but
it's still cool. That's a lot of this movie, though. It was so many different things. Like, I laughed so hard that I cried, but I also teared up a couple times.
Yeah, me too.
It's good. And I hate romantic comedies. This is basically a romantic comedy with horror. That's my thing.
It
that
was
good.
So fantastic. Like, the kids are sweet, and the teacher's a badass, but she's still like 1, 2, 3 eyes on me, you know, and just
you hear how she's a fucking psycho too, which is great.
Yes. And there were times, like there's very few times where I cry at the end of a movie because I'm happy.
Oh yeah, I told you I wanted to stand up and just start clapping. One of those movies. It was so good.
It was definitely one of those movies. Oh my God. Even though this is like a zombie outbreak and like there is a lot of death and stuff, this is a feel-good movie, and now that it's on Hulu, I'm gonna watch it who knows how many times.
Oh, absolutely. That right after we watched it, I was like, can we go back and watch it again? Because it was that good.
Yeah, I was like, is it on Hulu? Because I will watch it when I get home tonight, because I just want to share this movie, and it's wholesome. It's like, I was even saying it's like wholesome, but like not.
Exactly.
There's like 2 masturbating scenes and like a sex scene, and so it's not wholesome, but for a zombie film,
most definitely
pretty wholesome. Like it was very like
Sweet.
Heartfelt. Yeah. Like, yes, people are getting their intestines ripped out. Mm-hmm. But also, oh my God, they're so cute.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't really have much to say because I was just like smiling the whole time and I was invested the whole time. Mm-hmm. And it was really cool because if you follow us on Instagram, you see our stories. I would hope so, at least. And we had this theater all to ourselves. So, like, we had watched for days and days and then even the hours leading up to, and even when we got to the theater, nobody else was in this literally giant theater. It was just us. This movie was so, like, I guess Hulu did it, so I guess you can't really say indie. Plus Lupita was in it, so she's a highbrow name.
They didn't like really talk about it.
But it wasn't done by like a major studio, and so they didn't even have trailers on it. We were sitting there. It's supposed to start at 7:30, and it's like 7:40, and we're like, the screen is still black.
Yeah, there's nothing on it.
Did they forget that there are two people here? And so we're excited because we're going to get to talk and take notes and laugh as loud as we want. And then like, I don't know, 10 minutes after it started, this one dude by himself walks in and sits down, and we were like, are you fucking kidding me? Did you just come up here and just decide to see, like, we're the least amount of people. Like, I understand.
Right? I want to see a movie. I completely
get it.
But there was no popcorn, no nothing with them. They just sat there. It's weird.
Yeah. I wonder if he, like, saw a movie and, like, just walked into another theater. You know how you can, like, movie hop? He's like, I don't know what this is. But sure.
He sat through the whole thing after that 15 minutes. So go him.
Yeah. But they're honestly, it's very, like, I know this is going to be really short. I just don't have a lot to say. It's a zombie movie, and she's trying to protect kids.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Literally the only negative thing I have on it, and it's not against this movie. It is a zombie movie, and they're at a petting zoo. You're gonna see a lot of animal mutilation. Fair warning.
Yeah, which...
It wasn't that important. I hate animal stuff, and it wasn't actually that bad. There was one scene, but it makes up for it. So,
yeah.
But just prepare yourselves. It's a zombie movie at a petting zoo. They're going to get eaten. But other than that, it was amazing.
Yeah, and they're like the slow zombies, which like, because it's, so the United States fucks shit up.
Of course
this is not even,
in Australia.
Yeah, this is not even an American movie.
No.
And the U.S. Army had a testing facility where all the zombies got loose.
Even freaking Australia is like, fuck you Americans. And I'm kind of like, fair.
Yeah, right. And they're like, is it zombies again? It's like, oh, so we just do this.
Exactly.
And so there were a lot of cool little things if you pay attention. Like, and at the end, he's like, this is like spoiler alert, obviously, if you don't know our hype episodes are kind of spoilery. He's like, I can't shoot kids. Not again. I was like, jeez.
This is our second of 3 zombie comedies this year. And both of them have been great. So I'm sure Zombieland 2 isn't going to
disappoint.
Yeah, I mean, Woody Harrelson is amazing.
And so is pretty much the rest of the cast. I mean, I like all of them, I think. Yeah, I like all of them. I don't know, it's the year of the remake and the zombie comedy.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Which is fair. That just seems to be like, if you're going to do a horror comedy, it tends to be zombies. I don't know what's so humorous about zombies.
I know, right?
They're pretty terrifying.
Yeah. I loved this one. You guys, please go watch it. This is a short one, mostly because I don't want to ruin everything. I don't want to ruin the laughs and the heartwarming and all of that. You just really need to watch it. 5 out of 5. Absolutely, 100%.
5 out of 5 for me, too. Like,
couldn't ask for anything else.
No. Literally was laughing, and it just hit every single joke and heartfelt moment.
Hit. Nothing failed.
Exactly. It all was like, bam, right? Did exactly what it needed to do. I don't know who wrote this or directed it, but I am going to look up all that information and like look into whatever else they've done, because this was incredible. And yeah, like last night I was like, I don't know, 20 out of 5. I really loved this movie.
Exactly, right? Like we need a better rating system because it needs more.
So good.
5 is not enough.
Yeah, so it's on Hulu. Even if you just have to get the free trial to watch it, do it. It's worth it.
Dude, seriously, it is.
It's such a good fucking movie. And I'm going to watch it again this weekend.
Yep.
With the people in my house.
It comes out today. Watch it.
Yep. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with us for this really, really short hype episode. But again, we're just excited about it. And it was a horror comedy, so it's not that deep. Like
literally, exactly. There's nothing to delve into.
Yeah, it's a horror comedy romance. So that's that.
Exactly.
Yeah. You can hang out with us on Facebook and Instagram at The Exorcisters Podcast. You can hang out with us on Twitter at The Exorcisters. You can always email us your requests and thoughts at theexorcisters@gmail.com. And you can check us out on our website at exorcisters.com.
Until next time, stay creepy.